this is Nadia with Everything Stitching, and in this video I'm going to show you guys how to crochet a back to school pencil pouch. It's quick, it's easy, it's fun. You literally only need to know how to single crochet, chain, and hand sew the button on. So it's so simple and easy. You guys are going to have a blast. Oh, wait a minute. There is a double crochet in there, but that's not too hard because I show you how to do that. So me and Cashew are going to walk you guys along through this tutorial. Now let's get stitching. Okay, so to get started on our crocheted pencil pouch, we're going to start with medium weight yarn, and I'm using a 5mm hook. You can use a 5mm, 5.5mm, somewhere around there, whatever you're comfortable with. This is actually just a skein of yarn that I had, so I'm just going to use this. Nothing special. You don't need too much to actually make this. Another thing you're going to need is your tapestry needle, a 1-inch button to close this at the end, and then a needle and thread to go ahead and sew that button on. So let's get started. To get started, you're going to want to start off by making a slip knot onto your hook. And then you're going to chain 30. Six. It is so nice to make these pencil pouches because they're great for back to school, and then they're also really great for teacher gifts as well. And like if you were going to do it as a teacher gift, your button can be like an apple or a pencil or something like that, because there's like super cute buttons out there. So that makes it really fun. Okay, so just work at it. Make your chain of 30, and then after your chain of 30 we're going to be working on single crochet a lot. So this is actually a really simple pattern, definitely beginner friendly. And it's really cool because you can get started on this project and then as a beginner complete it and have something really cool actually completed at the end, and something useful, which is always fun as a beginner. Okay, so I'm going to work through all this. I'm going to get to 30 and then I'll meet you back here and I'll show you how to get started on your second row, third row, etc. Okay, so now that we have chained 30, now we're going to work on technically our first row, since the chain doesn't really count as a row. So for the first row, you're going to single crochet in the second single crochet from the hook, so, or from the second chain, I should say. So we have first, second, right? So that would be this one. And you're going to single crochet in it, and you're going to single crochet in every single stitch. Woo, until you get back to the end. Does that make sense? Right? Okay, so single crochet. So you're going to end up with 29 single crochets by the time you get back to the other side. And then at that point, you're going to chain 1, turn your work, and then single crochet all the way back. So basically this pattern is single crochet into every stitch, get to the end, chain 1, turn your work, and another single crochet into every stitch. You're going to go back and forth until you get your work to be about 9 inches long. The reason we do that is because to make the pouch we're actually going to fold it in half, so it'll end up being like what, 4.5 inches, and then I'll show you how to connect it and then add on the button. But it's literally single crocheting and chaining, so it's super easy, like I said. So anyways, just make your way through. Like I said, I have a 5mm hook. 5.5's probably it's gonna make your project go by quicker because you have a bigger hook, but I like the 5 because it's not very holy, and you're not going to have like your pencils or pens or markers falling out of holes, right? I just like my crochet to be close knit, but closely crocheted. That's just my preference, but you're more than welcome to do it how you prefer. Okay, so work your way across. I'll show you at the end how to chain one, turn your work, and then just keep going back and forth, back and forth. Meet you back in a minute. All right, so we've single crocheted all the way down. We've done 29 single crochets. Now we're going to chain one, turn our work. So now we're working back the other way now. And now we're going to single crochet into each stitch, which is going to be another 29, and then we're going to chain up one, turn our work again, chain or single crochet 29, chain up one, 29, back, forth, back and forth, until, like I said, your crochet work will be about 9 inches long. And then at that point I will show you how to do a scalloped edge, so that way when you turn it over, it's going to be like a cute ending. And then one side of it is just going to be single crochet, but the part that flops over, that'll have a cute little scallop row on it, and I'll show you how to do that once we get to 9 inches long. And then we'll meet back there after I show you how to do that. We're going to sew it together and add on our button. Okay, so now I've crocheted my pouch. We're at 9 inches. Now is the next step. So for the final row, we're going to be making the scallop and then the button loop. So what you're first going to do, sorry, I had this thing a little. You're going to single crochet. You getting that, daughter? Single crochet in the first 2 stitches. Cashew. I'm sorry, everyone. My cat just a little crazy. Okay, so single crochet into the first 2 stitches. Then you're going to skip 2 stitches, and then you're going to do 5 double crochets in the next stitch. So we're going to skip 2, 1, 2, and then that would be this third one from our hook. We're going to actually do 5 double crochets. Oh, I forgot we're doing a double crochet. So you yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, and then pull through the last 2, and that's how you double crochet. So what we're going to do now is 4 more into this same stitch. Yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2. So that's 2 double crochets, and then 3, 4, and 5. So now that we've got the 5 double crochets into that stitch, we're going to skip another 2 stitches. So 1, 2, and then single crochet in this third one. So 1 single crochet, and then another single crochet into the next stitch. And then from here, we're actually going to chain 10 for a 1-inch button. Now, if you have a smaller button, then you're going to chain less than that, just depending on how large your button is. But mine is a 1-inch, so I'm going to chain 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now we're going to slip stitch to the top of the previous single crochet to make our loop. So we're going to go back to our single crochet, right? And then we're going to slip stitch into that. So, sorry, this one's a little tight. Okay, so now we've slip stitched, and then there's our little loop that we've made for our button. Okay, so now we're going to single crochet now in our next stitch. Then we're going to skip 2 more stitches, 1, 2, and then we're going to do 5 double crochets in the next one after that. So that would be the 3rd stitch from the hook. So I'm going to do 5 here and then I'll meet you back. Okay, so I've done my 5 double crochets into that stitch. And now what you're going to do is skip 2 more stitches. Okay, so we got to skip 2, and then we're going to single crochet in that 3rd stitch. Okay, and then you're going to skip 2 more stitches, and then 5 double crochets in that next stitch. And then after you do 5 double crochets into this stitch, then you're going to skip 2 more stitches and then single crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then we'll meet back. So I'm at the point where I'm doing my 2 single crochets in the, or 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches, and now we're actually done with this part of it. So you're going to finish it off, so go ahead and tie it off and then weave in this end, and then I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so now that we've completed our scallops at the top and our loop for our button, we have 2 scallops on one side, button, loop, and then the other 2 scallops. So now what we're going to do is actually close up our adorable pencil pouch. So what you do is you fold up the bottom straight edge of your pouch about 4 inches. Well, 3 to 4, depending on what you prefer. Because if you do it about 3, that's how it's going to look when it's folded over, this far over. So let's see how it looks if it's 4 inches up. I say let's do 3.5. Let's cut it down the middle. Let's do 3.5 inches up. And that looks amazing. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to single crochet into all, well, we're going to single crochet into these 2 layers, and then as we get to the layer with the flap that comes over, you're going to also single crochet through all 3 layers. It's best if you figure out, if you're doing 3.5 inches, to go ahead and fold it and then clip that so it stays that way, and then also on the other side. That way you're not coming up with some funky sized on one side than the other. You want it to be the same. So go ahead and measure that off and then clip it so you know what you're doing. Then the best advice here is actually not to start from the 2-layer side of it. You actually want to start from the 3 layers. So go ahead and turn your work, since crocheting is always from right to left, right? Right? So start on this side with the 3 layers and work your way this way. Just doing single crochet through all of your layers into each stitch. Then go ahead and tie off and weave your ends in. Then work on this edge, right? So you're going to turn your work again. That way you're always starting with your 3 layers, working toward the 2, tie off, and then weave your ends in. Then we've closed up our pouch. Then the last and final step is actually to get your 1-inch button with your thread and needle and sewing it on, and then you can actually use it. So we will meet back here once I've single crocheted the edges to close up our pouch. Okay, so now that we've closed up our pouch on both sides with single crochet, it's a really nice finished edge, and it's easy to access to get your pens in and out of. It's actually, they're really good even for crochet needles. It doesn't even have to be pencils or pens, but if you wanted to, it's great for back to school for your pencils and pens as well. And you can use these as teacher gifts or even for your children. Super fun. Okay, so now the next and final step is getting your 1-inch button and sewing it on. So what you're going to want to do is just kind of line up where you're going to want it. And then holding it there. Oh, actually, I don't think I tied my knot in my thread yet. Okay, I've threaded my needle actually with the same yarn that I've been crocheting with. If it'll fit, it looks really cute if you use the same one. So that's what I was actually thankfully able to do. So I like to go from the back side of it first. That way you're not going to see your big old knot on this side. And just hand sew your button on. I like to do the cross pattern for buttons. I think it looks nicer. Well, I guess it's more of like an X, not a cross, but I think it looks cute that way. So I just go over it a couple of times. You don't have to go nuts on it because it's not like it's something that you're gonna be working with a whole bunch. Plus the yarn is super strong. And you're gonna notice that because you're using yarn and not thread to get through the holes of your button, not so easy. Which is good though, because this button ain't going nowhere. Nowhere. Okay. Okay, so now get on your back side of it, or the inside of it, I should say, not the back side, but the inside. And just kind of like slip stitch it into stitching that you already have. Pull that through and then tie off. And then you can even kind of weave the ends of this one in a bit too. And then pull that through, cut that off. And then look how cute that is. So stinking cute. And look, the loop for the button was the correct size for the 1-inch. So 10 chains is really good for a 1-inch button. Sorry, it's focusing on my ball of yarn to the side, but isn't it so cute? Anyways, I really hope you enjoyed making this with me. It was really fun. It's pretty quick and easy to make. Like I said, they're wonderful back to school gifts for your children, for the teachers, for yourself if you're a teacher. And they're even fun to make and just give away throughout the year as well. Well, I hope you enjoyed. The pattern will be listed in my Etsy shop, so feel free to check that out if you want a PDF printable to make this along with me. All right, I will see you guys next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye-bye.